G'day, Reaction here. Today I'm going to be making a video about Baldur's Gate 3 character creation. As some of you may already know, there is a lot involved when creating a character for Baldur's Gate 3. I'm going to give you some insight and understanding around the choices and mechanics so that you can jump into the adventure with the character you most desire to RP. With that, let's move into the creator.
Who are you?
So after a short intro cutscene, we get to the character creator screen. As you can see, there's a fair bit going on here. On the left, you can see this is where we're going to customize a character with our origin, race, class, background, and abilities. Depending on your race and class, you can have different options here, but we'll go into that in a minute. In the middle, we have the character. We can rotate it by clicking and holding, or we can use little arrow buttons in the bottom right. Additionally, we can use the plus or minus buttons to zoom in and out. In the upper right, we have the character summary. Here we can see an overview of all the changes we make when we make selections on the left hand side. Below this, we can change the body preset type. For some races it's 2, for some it's 4. We can also randomize our appearance here, and if we find one we like, we can use the arrows to move back and forth between them. Then in the bottom middle, we have the edit appearance button. We can click this at any time to change the appearance of our character. And finally, in the bottom left, this is how we add friends if we're playing multiplayer.
Oh, fucking killed you.
I didn't think I'd kill it.
From here, we'll move into each of the customization options, starting with Origin. From the Origin tab, you have a couple of different options. You can either choose a custom character that is 100% customizable to how you want to look and play, or you can choose a preset Origin character. The preset Origin characters have predetermined backstories. They are locked into their race and class, but their class can be changed later on in the game. For the time being, if you choose one of these preset Origin characters, then you must play the class up until this point. Each Origin character has a background description as well as a short introduction video. I'm not going to play the introductions in this video, but there will be a video with all of the introductions combined into one. I'll leave the link in the description. However, I will read through each Origin character and give an overview. The first Origin character is Astarion. He is a high elf rogue with a charlatan background. Astarion's backstory reads, after 200 years serving a cruel master, the vampire-spawn Astarion is finally free. Free to walk in the sun, free to chase power, and free to take revenge. The second Origin character is Lae'zel. She is a Githyanki fighter with the soldier background. Lae'zel's backstory reads, Lae'zel was raised ready for a life amongst the stars, mercilessly conquering the cosmos as a Githyanki soldier. Grounded, she must deal with a world she doesn't understand, and find a way to serve her people in a plane that despises her militant kin. The third Origin character is Gale. He is a wizard with the sage background. Gale's backstory reads, Gale's wizarding prowess once earned him the love of Mystra, the goddess of magic, until his ambition led him to the brink of catastrophe. The fourth Origin character is Shadowheart. She is a high half-elf trickery domain cleric with the acolyte background. Her backstory reads, Shadowheart willingly undertook a ritual to remove her memories in order to protect the secrets of her fellow Shah worshippers. Loss and pain are sacred to her, but her faith is now being tested like never before. The fifth Origin character is Will. He is a human warlock with the Fiend as his otherworldly patron. He has the folk hero background. Will's backstory reads, known as the Blade of Frontiers, Will uses his magic to fell the monsters and devils menacing the Sword Coast. In a moment of desperation, he accepted an offer of great power, forcing him into an infernal game he struggles to play. The sixth Origin character is Karlach. She is a Zariel tiefling barbarian with the Outlander background. Her backstory reads, Karlach has escaped 10 years of service in the Hells with nothing but the axe on her back, and the infernal engine blazing furiously where her heart used to be. The seventh and final Origin character is the Dark Urge. This Origin character is slightly different than the others as it doesn't have a predetermined race and class. This Origin character is completely customizable to however you want. It also has a very vague backstory, which you discover as you learn more about yourself. The Dark Urge's backstory reads as follows. You remember nothing but a path paved with blood. Unimaginable cruelty whispers to you from within. Can you escape it? Would you even want to? As you can see, the Origin characters have very interesting backstories and would be a blast to play. However, there's many of us that want to create our own custom characters, so we'll jump into that now. Once we have selected custom on the Origin page, we can then press the race tab. Here you can see that we have 11 different races, all with their own racial features. Most of these races also have a sub-race that you can choose. I won't go over each race's features, but in-game you can hover over these icons and get a better description of what they do. I'll now show an overview of each race and its sub-race. As you can see, there's plenty of choice here for choosing race and sub-race. You can see that the elf has the sub-races of High Elf and Wood Elf. The Tiefling has the choices of Asmodeus Tiefling, Mephistophilus Tiefling, and Zariel Tiefling. The Drow has the choices of Lothsworn Drow and Seldarian Drow. Humans don't have a sub-race, neither does Githyanki. The Dwarf has the choices of Gold Dwarf, Shield Dwarf, and Duergar. The Half-Elf has the choices of High Half-Elf, Wood Half-Elf, and Drow Half-Elf. The Halfling has the two choices of Lightfoot Halfling and Strongheart Halfling. The Gnome has the choices of Rock Gnome, Forest Gnome, or Deep Gnome. The Dragonborn has an abundance of skin colours, being black, blue, brass, bronze, copper, gold, green, red, silver, and white. Depending on your choice here will decide the damage type of your breath weapon and the damage type you're resistant to. And finally, Half-Orc that doesn't have a sub-race. Once you choose a race and sub-race, I highly recommend moving straight to the appearance editor so that you can make your character how you want it to look. This is the appearance editor. I'm not going to go through everything here, I'll just click through the tabs and quickly show you. I know a lot of you are going to be staying here for a few hours creating a perfect looking character. The first tab we have is General. Again, you can see that the body type is here. This Tiefling has 4 compared to the 2 that we had before. You can change identity, the voice, the face, the skin colour, the scarring, the maturity, freckles, the vitiligo, and genitals. You can use the hide close tick box so that you can see your genitals on the screen. The next tab is body art. You can paint your face and put piercings on here. Next is eyes. You can either have the same coloured eyes or you can make 2 different coloured eyes. And you can see that that's pretty highly customizable here. Next tab is makeup. You can put eyeshadow or some lipstick on. You can choose colour and use the sliders to change how it looks. As with most things here, when you make a choice, you get to decide on the colour as well. Next tab is hair. As you can see, there's a lot of options here, so take your time going through and find the one that best suits you. You can also change your hair colour, your highlight colour, and your grain colour. And using the sliders in each menu, you can change the intensity of each. The next menu is facial hair, and when you select one, it will automatically pull the colours that you chose for hair over to this. The final tab is if your race has any special features like horns or tails. As I said earlier, I believe a lot of you are going to spend hours here creating a character, but once you're happy with your selection, you can press the edit character button to move back to the character creator menus. Next, we have one of the most important choices of the whole game, your class. As you can see, there's 12 different classes, and each class has at least 3 different subclasses. I'm not going to go into detail about all the classes, as that would be quite a large video, and I'll be making a more detailed video on the classes later on. For now, you just need to know that the classes are split into categories, being Martial and Caster. The classes are as follows: Barbarian, Bard, Cleric, Druid, Fighter, Monk, Paladin, Ranger, Rogue, Sorcerer, Warlock, and Wizard. If you want a detailed breakdown of the proficiencies for each class, you can click this Details button and it will show you the proficiencies for each class. These will also show up on the right hand side under your character summary. However, they also include the race proficiencies. As you probably saw as I was clicking through the classes, the menu on the left hand side changes depending on what other requirements that class needs to choose, such as spells or the subclass. There is a lot of detail here, and I will go into this in a later video about classes. For now, if you hover over each of the icons or click on the subclass, you'll get a more detailed description to help you make your choice. Next, we move on to choosing our background. Background plays 2 parts in this game. The first thing it does is gives you proficiency in 2 different skills. The second thing it does is playing the character to that background will grant you inspiration during the game. You can use this inspiration in-game to re-roll d20 die. The backgrounds and their skill proficiencies are as follows: Acolyte with the skills Insight and Religion, Charlatan with the skills Deception and Sleight of Hand, Criminal with the skills Deception and Stealth, Entertainer with the skills Acrobatics and Performance, Folk Hero with the skills Animal Handling and Survival, Guild Artisan with the skills Insight and Persuasion, Noble with the skills History and Persuasion, Outlander with the skills Athletics and Survival, Sage with the skills Arcana and History, Soldier with the skills Athletics and Intimidation, and Urchin with the skills Sleight of Hand and Stealth. These skill proficiencies will add the proficiency bonus to that skill roll. The next tab is the ability scores. This tab shows your proficiency bonus as well as your designation of ability scores. As I said before, the proficiency bonus is added to any skill roll, but is also added to the saving throws that you're proficient in. The proficiency bonus starts at +2 and at level 5 goes to +3. The ability scores are as follows: Strength, Dexterity, Constitution, Intelligence, Wisdom, and Charisma. The star next to your ability score is the primary stat for your class. The stat distribution uses a points buy system. You can distribute any way you like to a maximum of 15 and a minimum of 8. Using the +2 and +1 bonus assignment, you can reach a high of 17. If you're unsure what stats to take, just press the use recommended option. The final thing this menu also shows us is the skills proficiencies. Here we can customize the skills that we want our character to be proficient in. You can see that this symbol means that these skills are inherited by the background and cannot be changed without changing the background. We can only choose a maximum of 2 skill proficiencies. The skill choice here is dependent on your race and class, so if you want different skills then you'll have to change one or both of these. The final tab is only available for spellcasters that are required to prepare their spells. In this menu, those spellcasters can choose which prepared spells they want to start the game with. From here we can go back through the tabs and fine tune the character creator as we like. Once we're done, we can press the proceed and choose a cool name, and then we're presented with the Guardian screen. With this character you don't have to worry about stats and it's all cosmetic and ties into the story, so I don't want to spoil anything here. But once you're finished designing this character, then you can press venture forth and enter the game and begin your adventure. I hope this video helped to understand the character creator screen a bit better, and don't worry too much if you feel like you messed up after you've created a character, as you can respec your character later on in game for a bit of gold. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, feel free to like and subscribe for more content like this.